In today's episode, we're talking about things that glow.
Like the hit
On their own.
HBO Max TV series Glow? Is it HBO Max?
Glow.
No,
That's our name.
Women's wrestling is our game. If we play rough, please don't blame us. A style as well, then you know you can't tame us.
Glow.
Is it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
sure.
it.
I've not seen it, I just know it exists, and it stars Alison Brie and Kate
either.
Nash. Those are the two things I know
It's
about.
great. I love it.
Go.
So first, we're talking about fluorescence.
Wow, that is
Beef for Vendetta.
that is one hell of a facial hair.
Yeah.
Wait,
Real
Do you-
anonymous mask there.
Do you have any idea how fluorescent stuff works? Like what the kind of mechanism is?
Truly,
don't.
I have none.
For scientists out there, I'm sorry, but essentially, you have a like high frequency or high energy wavelength of light gets absorbed into a compound. The compound enters like an excited state, and then in
Me.
order to become unexcited,
right now.
to become grounded again, it releases light, usually at a lower, well, always at a lower energy, because some energy goes somewhere in that process. That's why it's usually UV, because that's the highest energy one, and also because it looks cooler because you don't see the rest. Like if you just have the UV light, you're not seeing the rest of the light. It kind of looks cooler. So there's like two criteria. One is that the light is high energy, and one is that it can be absorbed by the material, like it's not just going to reflect it all.
Right, and so that's usually UV
Yeah.
for glowing things.
Well, it's not usually UV.
That's what we
just
usually
use
it for.
listen, I think that's a very convincing argument, but we all know that it's actually unicorn poop.
That's disgusting,
That
Jen.
explains the facial hair. That's
You're
what's happened there.
just sitting under that unicorn, getting pooped on, shaping it into a moustache.
So we use fluorescent things in our highlighters. We use fluorescent things in banknotes. All sorts of applications. It doesn't have to be light activated, by the way. It can also be chemical, like in a glow stick, or it can be mechanical. So there are some compounds where you just kind of, you stir them up and they...
One sec.
Essentially.
I'm going to show you something. Well, I'm not going to show you anything, but I'm going to get something out. Give me 2 seconds. Give me
I love
2
glow
seconds.
sticks.
Oh my god.
This is exciting. I thought this was my show and tell.
Glow sticks!
Oh, okay, that
Yeah.
is exciting. Yeah.
Look, glow sticks! Should I just like...
We gotta host a
should I
rave.
just put some...
Gotta do a little rave.
Did you buy them pre or post pandemic?
These were bought about 2018. And as you can
I
see,
thought
the
they- yes,
still have a sticker on it.
Unopened.
Well,
That's what I was thinking.
I'm nearly 30. I don't go to many raves anymore.
No, you never just crack one open.
What? Crack
funsies.
open a cold glow bracelet with the boys.
Yeah.
As a kid, I would unfortunately occasionally chew on them. Just crunch on them. Because they're always crunchy inside.
Oh my god!
that is really
That's so believable.
I don't know whether it's.
that I would crunch on glow sticks, right?
I don't know whether it's a good idea to
kid.
chew on glow sticks. I think we should probably preface
I
this.
think
Not.
it's a bad idea.
It's a bad idea, and yes, it does come out, and yes, it does taste bad.
Oh no, Nat.
And
Oh,
that looks so
Yeah.
cool.
Quite nice.
Look
It
at
is
that.
glowing.
That looks so cool. Oh, I want to go raving now.
We should do all our bits like this.
I want to go raving now. Oh, what colour is that? What colour do you think this is? It is
Pink.
blue. Ooh.
Oh,
Ah,
so wrong.
you can't tell from the colour of the liquid. That's what that guy on YouTube told me, and I should have listened to him. You can't tell from the colour of the liquid what the colour of the liquid's going to be.
that's
And
really
also,
cool.
if you block out the kind of fluorescent spectra of light, and you're shining, it's just these like cloudy liquids just look like clear liquids. I feel like I should have had the glow sticks.
Just as well somebody did, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Raven and misbehaving Jen.
But it's not just random chemicals that we've stuck in a tube that glow. Sometimes animals do it. We've all seen anglerfish before, and we've all seen, but you haven't seen my drawing.
Wow.
I love your
That's
drawings,
incredible.
This is one with two males attached,
Yeah.
because they can have up to 8 apparently.
Oh
So
my
many.
god. They're also
You can-
raving and misbehaving.
Yeah. You can kind of guess what an anglerfish is doing with its glow thingy.
Yeah.
Which actually is,
Yeah.
it's not producing that glow by itself. It has a symbiotic relationship with a glowy bacteria that keeps in its, I don't remember what that's called, like an echo or something. I don't remember what that dangly bit is called, but there's a name for it.
That's the
Antenna?
bait bit. Like.
Yeah. There's some other uses for bioluminescence include, I have here a squid, is what I've
Wow.
drawn here. Can you guess why a squid might light up like this?
To scare predators.
I don't know if it's a squid specifically, but I do know that most of the like bioluminescence that you get in like deep sea creatures is specifically on the underside of the creature, because what they want is to blend in with the sort of view upwards, because otherwise creatures are going to create a shadow, and so fish will be able to look up and kind of see the shadow of like predators or prey like swimming above them, and so they will bioluminesce to camouflage against the like sun filtering through the water.
That makes sense.
That is exactly what I was trying to say.
Wow.
Yes.
You don't even need to host anymore. You can just let Nat do the work.
Yeah, I know. Well, and you with your glow sticks. Another thing that I think is also squid is sometimes they'll just like light up one tentacle and let it go if they're being attacked.
Like it's like bait.
And then the predator is distracted by the glowing tentacle, and they
That's
can
very
escape.
clever. That's very clever.
There's some shrimp that can do a bioluminescent cloud just to swim away, like a smoke screen.
A glowing fart cloud.
Yeah, basically. Sometimes underwater creatures use their bioluminescent capabilities just to look at stuff, you know.
Like a torch.
Yeah, exactly.
Hi. I honestly hadn't considered that as like a function of like, yeah, it makes sense.
Sometimes they use it just to startle predators to get away. Also, this is I don't know if you've ever heard of dinoflagellates before. They're a microorganism, lives in water. Mechanical motion is typically what lights it up. That's why you see them light up the edge of shores fairly consistently in Jamaica and Vietnam and Puerto Rico, but also occasionally in other places. It's been seen around the coast of the UK. I might link a video to one in Wales that was pretty goddamn cool. This guy just picking up water, and as soon as he touches it, it starts glowing.
Wow.
Amazing. Like the wakes of ships as well.
That's really cool. It's like they put like a filter on the universe.
Yeah. They do it. They think they do it not to evade prey, because they're so tiny that they just wouldn't be able to get away, but to attract bigger prey. Have you
Like
seen,
swoop them up.
I think in the SpongeBob SquarePants movie, they're about to get attacked by a thing, and then a big fish comes out of and then eats the thing that's about to attack them.
Yeah.
That's
There's
what they're
always
hoping
a
for.
bigger fish, as the very wise Qui-Gon
always a
Jinn
bigger
said.
Yeah. But when they're not lighting up the sea, if there's like an overgrowth of these dinoflagellates, and presumably depending on the exact type as well, but they can make the sea red,
Wow.
and also release a neurotoxin that's not good for people.
Yeah. Can imagine.
So it's not always a good thing to have glowing water.
I mean, I think it very, very rarely
very
is a good
cool.
thing for it to have. It only means someone's getting a third leg.
I'll tell you a case when it was a good thing to have glowing, body parts, actually. Apparently, in the American Civil War, they noticed that some people's wounds were glowing blue, and then also that the people whose wounds were glowing blue were likely to survive longer. And that was some kind of microorganism that glows, that was presumably consuming or preventing infection by other
Right, so that was working as like an
microorganisms.
antiseptic kind of
Yeah.
presence.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
But they didn't understand what it was at the time. They're just like, whoa.
I am also just
You know?
like, whoa.
It doesn't have to be blue, by the way. It just almost always is blue underwater, because blue it travels furthest underwater. It's the frequency of light that travels.
Are you saying that water is not blue?
For the same reason as the light is blue, the water is blue. Kind of. Basically, it absorbs all other frequencies of light before it absorbs blue. So most of the light that's going to be reflected, I guess, is blue light, and also the light that's going to travel furthest is blue light. We all know what Lucifer is.
It's a successful TV show starring the guy who was also the boyfriend to Miranda in the Miranda sitcom.
Yeah, Gary.
A better TV show, but probably a less successful one. So the chemical reaction that happens inside the bodies of these organisms is one of luciferin with luciferase, or rather luciferin with oxygen in the presence of luciferase and ATP, or something like that. I'm not sure exactly. That produces light. In order for that reaction to settle, I don't know, a photon must be released.
Right.
Lucifer meaning like light bringer, as opposed to, I think, the original Hebrew that's more like morning star or something. Anyway, so yeah, it's luciferin. And I don't know whether they named it to sound evil or if they just chose the most appropriate Latin word. I don't know.
What do you call a evil Brussels sprout? A luciferous vegetable.
Oh yeah, that's quite good.
Came up
That is
that
quite
into
good,
my
yeah.
head.
There's different kinds of luciferin though. They don't have to be blue. Fireflies glow kind of green, I guess. Kind of yellowy green. And fireflies brings me on to the next section.
Ooh.
This is about humans. I wanted to use one of those like glowing brain images, but I couldn't find any that weren't on like iStock, and I don't want to pay for it. So this is a coral that looks a bit like a
Just
brain.
a bit like a brain.
That's
Very
glowing.
pretty.
Yeah. People have used bioluminescence and obviously we've used fluorescence a whole bunch if you ever looked at a highlighter. But bioluminescence we've used also for like some really useful things and some things that I don't quite see the use case of, but maybe there is one, I don't know.
All I know is that they took the gene that causes bioluminescence and then put it into a fish, and then there's a glowing fish.
I've seen it on some mice as well.
Yeah.
Useful for diagnostic tests, in medicine, and also it seems to have been used in a bunch of animal testing. How much glow you get also is dependent on like the presence of oxygen and ATP, so it can I've seen it be used so that they can see activity in neural things in different places in the body to see
Like it'll
like
physically
the bit that's
light
glowing
up
the most
where the
is-
activity
exactly
is sort of lighting.
yeah. And then I've also seen them just straight up you can buy, I think, plants that have a luciferase gene, so they produce the luciferase. They don't produce the luciferin. They give you syringes of luciferin, and you just sit there and you inject underneath the leaves and then like 20 minutes later your plant is glowing.
I
don't really
mean,
know what the point is of
mean,
that.
during lockdown, it was very boring, and you had to make entertainment for yourself.
Yeah, it didn't look that inspiring to me.
Good a reason as any.
Just Photoshop that.
You could.
I don't know. Well, it's just because they had to damage the leaves to do it, you know. It's not the same. And then, of course, the other thing that humans have used bioluminescence for is swords that glow in the dark when there's an orc nearby.
Yes.
That's about it.
To be fair, strictly speaking, not humans, elves.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Do you remember what the sword was called, Rach?
Fuck,
Called
Sting.
Sting. That sword is called Sting.
But speaking of elves, here's some really good Photoshop what I've done. I don't know how close to Christmas this video is coming out to have Rudolph in it.
Like,
Merry
Christmas, everybody. Merry Christmas.
festivities. Anybody got any closing statements?
Glow.
Rudolph.
Glow. That's our name. Women's wrestling is our game. If we play rough, you can't blame us. Our style is wild and you know you can't tame us. Glow.
Oh, one thing I didn't mention yet about the anglerfish, I feel needs mentioning, is that I watched a clip of, I don't remember whether it was Blue Planet. It was one of these David Attenborough series. Maybe it was Planet Earth even. And he is doing an impression of an anglerfish, and he says, "Come into my mouth, little fish."
Oh, that's deeply uncomfortable.
You should edit that in.
I found it very disturbing.
That sounds very disturbing. Sounds very disturbing.